So hello aspirants. In this lecture of Indian Forestry, we will be seeing the topic forest roads. It is included in your paper 2 and section A. So let's start the topic. See, before starting this particular interesting topic, I just wanted to say that have a proper grip on this chapter so that if you're not able to attend a question from, let's say, the forest mensuration or from the forest management part, at least you should be able to attend the question from forest roads, because each year UPSC is asking questions from this particular topic or this particular chapter. So rather than just leaving the topic because it is really very easy, you should have a proper grip on this particular topic. You should have a proper command on this chapter so that at least you should be able to attend the question if you are not able to attend the question from the forest management or from the forest mensuration part. So let's start the topic. The first one is your forest road. So what is a forest road? The definition is like this: roads in the adjoining forest area. The next is your classification of roads. So there are two different subtypes in which a road is or a forest road is classified. The first is your based on the function. So on the functional basis, forest roads are main motorable road, branch jeepable road, bridle path, and inspection path. So what is this main motorable road? A metal road which is generally connecting the headquarters of the forest offices, right? Then what is branch jeepable road? It is a non-metal road and it actually connects your interior part of the forest. Then the bridle path. Bridle path is generally used by your humans, tribals to carry their animals, and inspection path is by the subordinate forest officials for inspection purposes. These roads are generally used. Now another subclassification is your based on the period of use. So on the period of use, firstly we classify the road as temporary roads, and then fair weather road and permanent road. Temporary road are those roads which are actually usable only for few seasons. Fair weather roads are those roads which are generally usable for most of the seasons except monsoon, and then the permanent road which is available for your all types of weather and for the entire year. The next is your cross section of the road. See, this particular diagram is very much important. This has even been asked in the 2022 forestry paper. So try to remember this particular diagram, how a road is made and what are the various types of cross section in a given road. So there is this subgrade, then subbase is there, then soiling layer is there. Similarly, inner coat and outer coat is there, sealing coat is there, drainage is there. And let's say if they ask you draw the cross section of the road in a hilly region, so the road is going to be the same, the road design is going to be the same. You just have to make these sort of trees so as to represent that this is a forest region or a forest area in hilly terrain. Okay, so let's understand certain terminologies. See, first is the camber. This is very important because again this particular terminology was asked in 2022 examination. So what is the camber? It is part of the road which facilitates the drainage of rainwater. Then what is metalling? So it makes the road durable and withstand the road from wear and tear. Now what is gradient? A gradient is the longitudinal slope from the center of the road. And what is shoulder? Shoulder is the distance between the edges of the road to the drainage. Try to remember these four terminologies. There are various terminologies that have been given in your book. Try to go over them. If you find enough time, then try to remember it also. But if you have the paucity of time, shortage of time, then just remember the important terminologies like these four and that will do. The next is your bridges. What is the definition of a bridge? What are the different types of bridge? Let's go through them. The first one is the definition. So what is a bridge? They are cross drainage work used to cross the natural obstacles like your valley or your river. So this is the definition that has been given in your book. I have taken the same. So try to remember this one line definition, and if they are going to ask anything about the bridges, this one line definition can become your introductory part. So what are the different types of bridges? The first one is ford. Ford is a very small bridge. It is actually a road which is generally not covered by water for your entire year, but during monsoons it is covered by water. So that is your ford. It is generally a road where water isn't available most of the time. It is negotiable up to water depth of 30 centimeter for a motorcycle. Then another type of bridge is a road dam, a small dam for crossing your streams or rivers. Then the next is your causeways. So in this particular diagram, you can see this is the causeway. So the depth of the water is less than 30 centimeter and the traffic expected is not too heavy. Then we make causeways. Even when the finance or when the budget is less for making a bridge, then we generally make causeways. Then there is Irish bridge. They have a span of more than 7 meter and it is actually very tough, sturdy bridge. So this is the diagram of your Irish bridge, and try to remember these diagrams because UPSC generally asks to make diagrams as well as to write at least 30 to 40 words about these bridges. The next is a simple wooden bridge. So it is entirely made up of wood. Span is of 6 meter. So this is the diagram of your simple wooden bridge. Then the next one is a cantilever bridge and suspension bridge. These diagrams are like this for the cantilever and for the suspension bridge. Remember these two diagrams because it is very much important, and they are generally asking about the cantilever or the suspension bridge alternatively, right? So try to remember these diagrams and at least have a note of 30 to 40 words regarding what is a cantilever bridge and what is a suspension bridge. So if it is going to come in your examination, at least you will be able to write about it. The next is your culverts. So what is a culvert? It is actually a type of bridge only, but a small bridge. The span is less than 4 meters and there are three different types of culverts. Pipe culvert is there, box culvert is there, and arched culvert is there. So these are the diagrams of your pipe culvert and arch culvert. In the book, you will be able to find even the diagram of the box culvert. So try to again remember these diagrams because you never know. Though UPSC hasn't asked about the culverts, but in the future examination, it may be possible that a question can be raised from here also. Now let's understand certain previous year questions. Distinguish between your Irish bridge, simple wooden bridge, and the suspension bridge with neat diagram, neat sketches. So over here you can see that they are actually asking you about the bridges as well as to draw the diagrams of those bridges. Then the next is what do you understand by the camber gradient of a road in 2022? This year itself they have asked the question in the forestry paper, and describe with neat sketches the suspension bridge. So the questions are actually very easy, but you need to have a proper hold, then only you will be able to tackle these questions properly. So in the next lecture we will be seeing certain other topics of Indian forestry. Till then, thank you.